Hi everybody. Well, I must confess, it is wonderful to be walking out in the rain tonight. Look how gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous are all of these places. And again, at a time when it's not quite dark yet, but there's less people on the streets, I guess, because it's raining. I think I'm the only mad one that walks in the rain. But it's really invigorating walking in the rain. You should try it. Just you know, get a brolly if you want one. If not, let the rain touch your head, feel all your senses. It's still light enough. Look everywhere. Oh lovely, light all the way around. It's really fantastic to be able to walk, to be healthy enough to walk, to have good legs and be strong enough to enjoy the outside. So, especially if you're in Scotland, if you let a little bit of rain get the better of you and stop you from doing things, you'd never go anywhere. Anyway, see you at the other end, hopefully. And remember, all the lovely yoga for gentle people that like gentle yoga in Gilmerton Community Centre on Thursdays, 7 till 8. So hopefully see some of you there one day. Bye bye. Having a discussion with friends the other day, and there's an advert that's on the social media and probably television, but I don't watch telly much. But anyway, it's from one of the local supermarkets, one of the leading UK supermarkets, and they had put a brand in place that had a big yellow label, and people were talking about the rights and wrongs of making this label so obvious. It was aimed at people who are on a low budget. The majority of the things that were in the basket were all junk food. There were processed chicken nuggets, definitely 100% made with the worst ingredients. There was things like ready-made pizza, which will be full of sugar and salts and other things that you just don't want, preservatives and chemicals. Actually, living healthy doesn't need to be the preserve of the rich. It really doesn't, as far as food's concerned. I'm going to start off today with something that hasn't been free. Obviously I bought the tree at some point, but I've got these apples off of my tree. I don't do anything, I'm not a professional gardener or anything like that. The tree just does its thing in nature. So I've got this haul of wonderful apples. As you can see, they're not perfect, they're normal, nice, organic actually, apples. And they've got bits that need to be cut out because they've been in nature and they haven't been adulterated with chemicals. But what I'm going to do with these is, there's too many to eat. I'm going to cut them up. I'm going to put them in a pan with a little bit of honey, and I'm going to slowly heat them until they're nice and soft. There you go, there's my pan, there's my apples. Put a bit of honey on them, and I'm going to heat them slowly until they're nice and soft, and then obviously we can't eat them all at once. I'll put them in little packets or in little tubs or whatever. Things that you've already got. If you buy a jar of something or a pot of jam or something like that, keep the jar, use it again. You don't need to buy all these things separately and specially, you know, they don't need to even look nice, just as long as they're functional and they do the job they're supposed to do. But certainly I know what it's like to try and bring up a family on a budget when I was younger, very much younger. And I know what it's like when you're shopping and you're young and you don't know what to do and nobody's taught you, because I've been there. But as you go through life, if you learn, you'll learn to understand that you don't need to eat junk. you can actually eat quite good food for the very same money that you're buying that junk with. So without further ado, I'm going to put a little bit of honey on my pan with my apples, and I'm going to stew them on a really low heat until they're a little bit soft, probably take maybe 20 minutes or half an hour or something at very low heat. And when they're done, I'll tell you exactly how long it took, and I'll show you a picture of the result, and I hope that it's something that you're able to do, able to think about. See you later, bye bye. So these are the apples, about 20 minutes in to being cooked on a really, really low heat. When I put the apples in, I put a tiny little bit of water, a tiny bit, but I can see it's all starting to gel up and some of the apples haven't boiled down yet, so I'll just put another tiny wee bit in, tiny, not too much, just to give it a little bit of fluidity there, and then I'm going to put it back on just to make sure that all the honey and everything's soaked into each apple piece. Put my lid back on. Remember the lid, guys, because all of the moisture will evaporate.